My oldest daughter lives with her boyfriend in Easton.
Had you, at that time, already made some plans with friends and relatives in regards to going out Friday?
Yeah, I had just mentioned to my daughter Caitlin and my sister-in-law Julie, and just had mentioned it to them about possibly getting together Friday.
And just to be clear for the record, when you say your sister-in-law Julie, how is she sort of related to you?
She's my husband's brother, Chris's wife.
Now, on that evening of the 28th, can you explain to the jury sort of how it was that where did you decide to go with your daughter and your sister-in-law?
We just decided to go to Waterfall, a local place, 5-10 minutes down the road from our house. My sister-in-law Julie picked me up at my house maybe 7:30, 7:45, and we went to the waterfall, and I believe my daughter and her boyfriend Tristan were already inside at a table.
And when your sister Julie came to pick you up at the house, and when you arrived at 34 Fairview Road, you went inside the house?
I think I went inside for a moment, yeah, just to wait.
And do you know who, if anyone, did you see in there that you knew or recognized or didn't?
I know my niece Caitlin was in there, my nephew Brian. I don't recall. I don't recall who else was in there.
Your sister-in-law Nicole, was she there?
Yeah, she was ready to leave. Yep.
And when you left, I'm using sort of you in the plural, so you drove, is that correct?
I drove. Yep.
And who, if anyone, went along with you in your car?
Nicole, my sister-in-law, and Caitlin, my niece.
If you know about what time was it that you picked your sister-in-law and your niece up and then went to Waterfall?
I don't remember exactly, but I would probably say between maybe 7:30 and 8. 7:30, like around 7:30 maybe.
And you arrive at the waterfall, you go in. Explain to the jury sort of when you walk into the door of the waterfall, where was it that the three of you went?
When you walk into the door, there's a couple high-top tables, long high-top tables in front of you, and we just sat down at a high-top table right when you walk through the door.
When you get to the waterfall, where within the establishment?
We came in, and I think Caitlin and Tristan were already sitting there, so we sat down at the table.
So specifically on the 28th, at some point you came to Canton, correct?
Yes.
And do you recall how you came to Canton and where was it that you went first?
So I can't say for sure. From what I remember, I believe that my boyfriend Tristan and I went straight from Easton to the waterfall and actually got there before my mom and my Aunt Julie, from what I can remember. And then my mom and Julie ended up meeting us there, and that's when we sort of started just kind of like hanging out.
Do you recall about what time it was that you got to the waterfall?
Unfortunately, I can't remember an exact time, but it would have been around like dinner time. If I had to guess, maybe like 6.
And what, if any, plans did you have yourself and your girlfriend Caitlin out?
I went out and I met them for a drink.
Met them? Who is that?
My girlfriend Caitlin, and that's all I remember.
Do you recall where it was that you went?
Waterfall Bar and Grill.
And do you have any idea what time that was on the 28th?
I don't recall.
And do you recall who, if anyone else, was there in addition to yourself and your girlfriend Caitlin?
No, I do not.
Do you recall whether or not either of their parents were there?
I don't remember.
If you recall, about how long was it that you were at the waterfall that evening?
I couldn't estimate.
And when you left the waterfall to go home to Easton, was it snowing at that point?
I don't remember.
So your girlfriend Caitlin, about what point in the evening did you start to get calls or texts from her?
I don't remember.
At some point did you leave Easton and go back to Canton?
Yes, I did.
And do you have any recollection of when that was over the course of the evening or the early morning?
No, I don't remember a time.
Christopher Albert, Albert.
How long have you lived in Canton?
Since 1974.
Prior to living in Maple, where did you live in Canton before that?
7 Meadows Ave, 2001 to 2021, about 20 years. I live with my wife, Julie, my middle son, Colin, and my youngest son, Dylan.
How is it that you knew John?
He bought the 1 Meadows Ave, the top house, I don't know exactly, maybe like 2017, so he became my neighbor, and I guess just from me driving by his house and coming home, I saw him, would wave to him and stuff. And that's how I initially became to know who John was.
Your home on Maple, where is that in relation to those businesses on Washington Street, including your own?
So Maple Street, probably from my pizza shop, is maybe like a 5-minute walk. You know, it's not far. And a little closer to Waterfall. So maybe it's like a 7-minute walk from D&E and like a 5-minute walk from Waterfall.
Is Brian Higgins, is that someone that you had met previously?
Yeah, a few times.
And how did you know him?
I don't know how I initially met him, but just probably just seen him around. I knew that he worked as an ATF agent. I knew that he worked inside the Canton Police Department, so I think I knew him from that, just being around.
Fair to say you knew him sort of through your brothers, either Brian or Kevin?
Yeah, that's the only way I met him.
What was Mr. O'Keefe wearing on that evening?
Blue jeans, baseball hat, and kind of like a pullover light sweatshirt type of grayish garment. I don't know what you would call it. It wasn't like a hoodie, and it was like a long sleeve shirt.
And is that what he was wearing when he walked in?
Yes.
And at any point in time, did you see him with like a jacket or anything like that?
No.
Now, as far as your observations of Mr. O'Keefe, what, if anything, did you observe about that clothing as far as any tears or any dishevelment of it at all?
No, I didn't notice anything. It looked fine to me.
What, if any, discussion was there as to going someplace or wanting to go someplace after the waterfall?
So we have this like little ritual that when one of my nieces or nephews turn 21, we go back to the pizza shop after hours and turn on the oven and make pizzas and stuff. There was talk about going back there. Miss Reed asked if we could go back and make pizzas up at my pizza shop a couple times. Someone mentioned going back to my brother's house after. My brother Brian.
Obviously, it's your pizza shop. So
Yeah.
what, if any, conversation from your end was there in reference to doing that?
To doing that night. So we were doing a weight loss competition, me, Matt McCabe, and my brother Brian. We had like 2 more weeks left in it.
And as far as the group that you were with at the high top table, who, if anyone, from that group left first?
So my wife left first, obviously. She didn't feel well. She left earlier. Then Brian and Brian left. My sister-in-law left. Matt and Jen left. I left probably second to last. I probably left last with John and Karen, or right around the time that John and Karen left.
You leave from the waterfall and you're walking home, is that right?
Correct.
And about what time was it that you got home?
Sometime between, I'd say 5 past and 10 past 12, somewhere in that window.
Mr. Albert, as far as your son, Colin, do you know sort of where he was that night?
Yes. So he was at my brother Brian's house for my nephew's birthday.
He came home sometime after you, is that correct?
Correct.
You know what time your son came home that night?
I know that.
Do you know, just answer yes or no whether you know.
Yes.
And how do you know that?
Because he opened the bedroom door and said, "Good night, guys. I love you. I'm home."
About how long after you got home was it that your son got home?
I'd say within 10 minutes.
And as far as sort of coming into your room, is that something that was required of your kids when they came home?
He would always do that, yeah. That was something just to let us know that they were home.
What was it that, or who was it that woke you up that morning?
At that time, I just woke up on my own.
When you woke up, what happened after you woke up?
Shortly after I woke up, my wife entered the room. I don't know exactly what time. She informed me that something had happened to John. I don't know the exact words that she said, but basically that John had died. I was in shock. I was like, "What are you talking about? Like, what do you mean?" And then I jumped up, and she's like, we have to go over. Let's go over to your brother's house."
About what time was it, if you know, that you got over to your brother's house?
Sometime approximately like after 9 o'clock. I don't remember exactly what time we went over there. Maybe 9 or 9:30.
When you arrived at your brother's house, who, if anyone, was there?
To the best of my recollection, from what I remember, I was there. My wife was there. My brother Brian, Nicole, Brian Higgins was there. I believe Matt McCabe was there, and Jen McCabe was there?
I have no further questions.
Okay, cross-examination.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Morning, sir.
Mr. Albert, you've essentially lived in Canton your whole life. Moved there when you were 4 years old, and the house to which you and your family moved was 34 Fairview. You lived there for how long?
33 years?
And you own D&E Pizza in Canton. I believe you testified that you've owned it for approximately 25 years.
Correct.
Clearly, you have a lot of ties to the city of Canton. Would you agree?
Sure.
And you also are a town selectman in the city of Canton.
Recently elected.
The town of Canton.
It's a town, correct.
Not only that, but your brother, Kevin Albert, is a police officer in Canton.
He is.
Your brother, Brian Albert, is currently retired, but had been a Boston police officer who lived in Canton, correct?
Correct.
You would agree with me that Brian Albert only moved from Canton after John O'Keefe was found dead on his front lawn, correct?
Can you rephrase that?
I'll phrase it the exact same way and ask for a yes or no if you can do that. You would agree with me that your brother Brian Albert only moved from Canton after John O'Keefe was found dead on his front lawn.
Objection.
Can you answer that?
Betray desires.
Can you answer that?
Yeah, I just don't understand the phrase, but he moved shortly after that, yes.
Your brother Tim Albert lives with your parents in Canton, correct?
Correct.
And Tim Albert and your parents live directly across the street from the Canton Police Department, correct?
Correct.
Do you know whom they bought that house from?
Objection.
The objection sustained.
You would agree that your entire family has deep roots in the town of Canton.
Yes.
And you would agree with me that the Albert family is a powerful family in the town of Canton.
Objection.
Sustained.
As a town selectman, you have some power, do you not?
I'm one of 5 selectmen.
And as a police detective, Kevin Albert has some power, does he not?
Objection.
Sustained.
And you also have close friends on the Canton Police Department, do you not?
Objection.
I have some.
Now, you know that Massachusetts State Police Trooper Michael Proctor is the lead investigator on this case, correct?
I know that.
One of your wife's best friends is Michael Proctor's sister, Courtney Proctor, correct?
Objection.
Okay, that's sustained. You've got another witness. You can ask that of Mr. Minetti.
You know Courtney Proctor, correct?
Objection.
Allowed.
Yes,
And you know her to be Michael Proctor's sister, correct?
that's correct.
You attended Michael Proctor's sister's wedding, correct?
Objection, Your Honor. May we approach?
Sure. Why don't you come on over?
Still just a rat in a cage. Despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in a cage. And someone will say what it's like.
I believe you testified, sir, that you've known Michael Proctor's sister for about 20 years.
Objection.
I don't think he said that, but we'll let that stand and then move on, please.
About 20 years. You testified.
Or if that's,
I believe, didn't you testify to that on direct examination just moments ago when Mr. Lally was asking you questions?
Objection, Your Honor.
Next question, Mr. Minetti. Objection sustained.
How long have you known Michael Proctor for?
I mean, I know he's Courtney's sister, brother. I couldn't tell you exactly how long I've known him for.
About 15 years or so?
Roughly.
Who is Kenneth Berkowitz?
The former Canton police chief.
And how do you know him?
His son and my son are the same age, so they played on some sports teams when they were younger together. I think that's when I first came to know Ken.
You became friendly with him.
I became friendly with him, sure.
And how would you characterize your relationship with him?
Friends?
You've seen him socially.
Really.
You've been out for drinks with him.
I think maybe once.
And you've known him for how long?
20 plus years.
You say you've only been out with him for drinks one time in those 20 years?
I can't even remember if it was with drinks one time. Yeah, no.
What other types of activities have you done together?
I can't think of any. I think he came to an event that I held one time. That's about it.
Have you been out with him in a group setting?
That event that I just mentioned, yeah.
What event was that?
It was my campaign event when I was running for select board.
He was one of your supporters.
He came by.
Did he donate money to your campaign?
I think he did.
May we approach, Judge?
Yes.
May I approach, Judge?
Yes.
So I've handed you a photograph. Do you recognize what that depicts?
Yes.
What does it depict?
Me and Kenny Berkowitz.
Mr. Albert, that's obviously you on the right and Kenny Berkowitz on the left.
Correct.
Have you seen that photo before?
I believe I've seen it.
Do you recall when?
I believe that's my fundraiser for when I was running for the select board, the event that I spoke of earlier.
Okay. And when would it have been that you saw that photograph?
I'm not sure. I don't know if it was on my Facebook page when I was running for select board. It looks familiar.
Has Mr. Lally shown you that photograph?
No.
Has he informed you that the defense would be introducing that photograph during this process?
Nope.
You would agree with me that one of your functions as a selectman is to oversee public safety in the town?
Yes.
And you would agree that the police department is a key component of public safety in the town of Canton?
Yes.
So part of your duties as a town selectman is to oversee the Canton Police Department, correct?
Objection, Your Honor.
I'll let him have it. Is that one of your duties, sir?
I believe so. I'm new at that. I'm recently elected, so I'm just going through it. But yeah, I believe so.
You became a town selectman shortly after Kenny Berkowitz retired, correct?
I'm not sure when Kenny retired.
You would agree with me that the former Canton Police Chief, Kenny Berkowitz, has both personal and professional relationships with you and members of your family.
I'm not sure I agree with that question.
Well, your brother Kevin Albert worked under Chief Berkowitz, correct?
Correct.
Would you consider that to be a professional relationship?
With them two, yes.
And your brother Brian Albert attended Chief Berkowitz's retirement party, did he not?
I have no idea.
But your brother Brian is also a friend of Kenny Berkowitz, is he not?
He may be, not sure.
As far as your ties to the Canton Police, you would agree with me that Lieutenant Michael Blank is a member of the Canton Police Department, correct?
He is.
And you've been friends with him for years, correct?
I've known him for a long time.
You've been childhood friends with him since the age of 12, correct?
Somewhere around there. Maybe earlier.
And you're tight with him.
I don't know if I'd call it tight.
He's not an enemy of yours, is he?
Oh, God, no.
No, he's a friend of yours, correct?
Sure.
And does sure mean yes?
Yes.
Your older brother, Brian, was a Boston police officer for years, correct?
Correct.
And he achieved some notoriety on a television show, did he not?
Objection.
He was in the fugitive unit?
Correct.
And you know that your brother Brian was also a trained boxer, correct?
Objection.
The Albert family is close, correct?
Yes.
You still hang out with each other quite often, correct?
Like all of us,
In various combinations.
we have different relationships with my siblings.
Sure, but you see some more than others, but you hang out with your family, do you not?
Yeah, mostly during holidays.
And you go out for drinks together, correct?
Occasionally.
And you're protective of each other, correct?
Like most families.
And if someone had a dispute with a member of the Albert family, Brian wouldn't be happy about that, correct?
Objection.
You know that Brian would stick up for your kids, correct?
Objection.
Your son Colin is particularly close to your brother Brian, is he not?
Objection.
I'll let him have that. Do you know?
Yes.
In fact, your son Colin was a football player through high school, was he not?
Yes.
What was his number?
In high school?
Yes.
34, I believe.
And was that for 34 Fairview?
I don't think so.
Now, you testified you moved to Maple Street in Canton not long before January 28th of 2022, correct?
Correct.
And before that, you lived at 7 Meadows Ave in Canton?
Correct.
And that was when John O'Keefe was your neighbor, correct?
Correct.
I believe you testified he was a couple of houses away from you?
Yes.
And he was your neighbor for a series of years, was he not?
Yes.
While he was living in the neighborhood, you knew that he was working as a Boston police officer, correct?
Correct.
You were familiar with him.
What do you mean? What do you mean familiar?
You knew who he was.
Yeah, he was my neighbor. I knew who he was.
I'd like to ask you some questions about people specifically connected to this case. We've established that Lieutenant Lank has been a friend of yours for years. We've established that you know former police chief Kenneth Berkowitz in such a way that you feel comfortable calling him before this jury Kenny Berkowitz, correct?
I know Kenny. Yep.
He's actually donated to your campaign when you were running for town selectman, correct?
Correct.
And you also knew Michael Proctor prior to January 29th of 2022, correct?
Correct.
At some point, Michael Proctor came to question you. At the point in time when Michael Proctor came to question you, you knew who he was, correct?
Yes.
You knew him by face, correct?
Correct.
And you knew him by name, correct?
Correct.
There was no need for Michael Proctor to formally introduce himself to you, was there?
Objection.
What did he say when he first walked in the door in terms of introductions?
Objection.
May we be seen as sidebar, Judge?
Sure.
I'm a fire starter, twisted fire starter.
Without getting into the precise wording, you'd agree with me that there was no need for Michael Proctor to formally introduce himself to you for that meeting, correct?
Yes.
He didn't need to say, "How do you do? I am Michael Proctor," correct?
No.
Do you consider the Proctors to be the Albert's second family?
Objection.
Do you consider that?
No.
You are aware that there are members of the Proctors family who have posted publicly that the
Objection, Your
Alberts are
Honor.
their second family, correct?
So the objection is sustained and I'm striking that question. Disregard.
You've testified that on January 28th of 2022, John O'Keefe stopped into D&E Pizza, your shop, and there was discussion about whether you would be going out that night, and if so, where you would be. You've previously, on direct examination, characterized your relationship with him as being friends, correct?
Correct.
It's fair to say, however, that prior to January 28th of 2022, you had never exchanged personal information with John O'Keefe, correct?
Sorry, you mean like phone numbers or what?
The cell number prior to that date.
No, I didn't.
At that point in time, he had lived in your neighborhood for 4 to 5 years, correct?
Correct.
You knew that Brian Albert, your brother, and Brian Higgins were friends, correct?
I knew they knew each other.
So are you saying that they were acquaintances?
No, I guess they're friends.
You guess they're friends?
Yeah, they're friends.
Was there something confusing about my question the first time I asked it?
Objection, Your Honor.
At 9:45 p.m., you texted John O'Keefe while you were at the waterfall, correct?
Correct.
Would you agree with me that the language of your text was, quote,
You.
it says get over here. If not, I'm going to fuck up your lawn. And that little emoji, that face emoji after, if not, I'm going to fuck up your lawn, that's...
Yeah, it's a laughing face.
Right, so you're
a joke.
saying you're cracking up.
Yeah, it's a joke.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry. Apologize.
Okay, well, we can take that down. Would you agree with me that of the group that you had met out, that you were the last person to leave the waterfall on January 29th of 2022?
I believe so.
You testified on direct examination today that you thought you got home between 12:05 and 12:10 a.m.
It's what I remember.
If I suggested to you that you didn't even leave the bar until 12:13 a.m., would you quarrel with that?
Would I quarrel with it?
Yes.
No, I guess not. I mean,
You would agree with me this was clearly the end of the night?
sure.
The bar appears to have largely emptied out.
Yes.
Continue, please. Pause it. There we go. My co-counsel is much better at this than I am. Do you know who that person is who's leaving the bar at this point at 12:13 and 43 a.m.?
I believe it's me.
Continue, please. So, having now viewed that video with the timestamp of 12:13 and about 43 seconds or so, does that refresh your memory as to when you left the waterfall?
Yes.
That would mean it would have been impossible for you to get home to Maple Street by 12:05 or 12:10, correct?
Correct.
It was about maybe a 7-minute walk home. Would you agree with me?
From Waterfall to Maple? No, I said 7 minutes from D&E to Waterfall. Waterfall to Maple is probably less than 5 minutes.
So it's your testimony that D&E is closer to the waterfall than the waterfall is to Maple Street?
D&E's farther away where I live than Waterfall is.
I understand.
Oh, I don't follow you. I'm sorry.
I'll try to clarify. I
Okay.
don't mean to be confusing here.
Oh, it's fine.
I'm not asking about the distance between D&E and your home. I'm trying to compare, or ask you to compare, the distance between D&E and the waterfall, and then the waterfall and your home. Do you see the difference?
I think so.
Would you agree with me that your home is farther from the waterfall than D&E Pizza is from the waterfall?
I don't follow you. I'm sorry.
Okay, so let's take it step by step. D&E Pizza to the waterfall, are they on the same street?
Yes.
So it's a very short walk from
Yes.
D&E Pizza to the waterfall.
Yes.
Your home on Maple Street is farther from the waterfall than D&E Pizza is to the waterfall. Is it
Correct.
not?
Correct.
Okay.
I didn't understand it earlier.
No, I know, and I'm trying to work through this because, I'm not trying to trick you here. I just want to get the answer. So I believe you said that one walk was 7 minutes and one walk was maybe less than 5 minutes. The 7-minute walk would have been the walk home as opposed to the walk to the waterfall, correct?
Yes.
All right. So you have agreed that you left the bar at 12:13, almost 12:14, according to the video, and it would have taken you about 7 minutes to walk home, correct?
Not exactly sure how. I think.
Can I see Councilor Chadwick?
It's been pointed out to me that I think we're not making the connection here, and I think it might be my fault. With regard to the timing of how long it took you to go home, I believe your best estimate is about 5 minutes. Is that your testimony?
Yeah. I'd say around 5 minutes. I think from the waterfall to Maple Street.
Fair enough. And so when you got home, do you have a master bath with regard to your bedroom?
There's a bathroom. Yeah.
All right. That would have been where you brushed your teeth
But yeah.
and washed up?
But I did. That's where I would do those things, but I didn't do them.
You didn't do either of those things?
No.
Okay. Did you grab a drink of water before
Nope.
you went to bed?
Nope.
You essentially came home around 12:20 or so, give or take a minute.
Roughly.
and you made a beeline for your bedroom.
Correct.
Did you fall asleep shortly thereafter?
Soon after,
Within 5 minutes or so? 10 minutes?
I started to doze off. I don't know exactly how soon after I fell asleep.
All right. Sometime within 5 or 10 minutes, would you say?
I would say more like within 15 minutes.
15 minutes, okay. So with regard to getting home, if you're walking in the door at 12:19, it takes you maybe a minute to get upstairs,
About a minute.
and then you walked up 2 flights of stairs, right?
Probably ran up the stairs because I was cold.
Okay, all right. So you're getting up there around 12:20. You believe that you dozed off about 15 minutes later, which would have made it about 12:35.
Somewhere around there.
When you came home, you would agree with me that your son, Colin Albert, was not home, correct?
Not when I first got home.
And in fact, I think your testimony was that 10 minutes after you got home, he opened the bedroom door.
I think that's what I said, yeah.
You want to stick with that?
Hey, slam dunk.
I'm just trying to recollect what I, thinking it over, so obviously it was a little bit longer.
Because you actually woke up when he opened the bedroom door, correct?
I don't think so.
Did you not just testify before this jury just, I don't know, maybe an hour ago, that you fell asleep and that your son, Colin, opened the bedroom door and woke you up to say goodnight?
Yeah, I guess that's what I said.
Okay. So in terms of the timing of this, assuming that he opened the bedroom door after you already fell asleep, if you're getting home upstairs to your bedroom around 12:20 and it takes you 15 minutes to go to bed, and that's around 12:35, then sometime after you're asleep, after 12:35, that's when Colin opens the bedroom door, correct?
I don't remember exactly.
Well, it's difficult for you to remember how long you'd been asleep for when Colin opened the bedroom door, correct?
Correct.
You don't know if it was 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or longer, correct?
I don't know exactly.
Right. But it was some time after you fell asleep.
To the best of my recollection.
With regard to your son, Colin, he obviously lived in the same neighborhood as John O'Keefe, because that's where your family lived, correct?
Correct.
And back in 2022, Colin Albert was 17 years old.
Correct.
And you knew that, like most teenagers, Colin drank alcohol with his buddies, correct?
Correct.
Can you explain for the jury who or what is Nebbercracker?
What is Nebbercracker?
Yes.
Like the character?
That's what I'm asking.
It's a character in a cartoon called Monster House.
And would you agree with me that Nebbercracker in the movie Monster House was this kind of old curmudgeon who didn't want anybody on his lawn, correct?
The character, yes.
He was the get off my lawn guy, correct?
In the movie, yeah.
What was your nickname and your wife Julie's nickname for John O'Keefe?
Mr. Nebbercracker.
All right. And your wife Julie actually had John O'Keefe plugged into his contacts as Nebbercracker, correct?
Correct.
In fact, you were there one time when Julie showed Karen Reed, her phone to show how John O'Keefe was plugged in as Nebbercracker, correct?
I believe so.
And this whole nickname started because of a conflict that Colin Albert had with John O'Keefe.
Not correct.
John O'Keefe complained to you about things that Colin was doing.
Not correct.
He would tell you that Colin used to throw beer cans or beer bottles in his bushes, correct?
Objection, Your Honor.
That is not correct.
John O'Keefe told you that Colin used to flip him off, correct?
Not correct.
And say F you to him.
Never.
Colin used to cut through his yard.
Nope, that was Dylan.
You knew that John didn't like people cutting through his yard, correct?
No, I don't know that to be true.
Okay. So is it your testimony that John O'Keefe invited kids to cut through his lawn all the time?
I don't understand. Is that a question?
It was a question. I guess let me withdraw that and ask this. If John O'Keefe is Nebbercracker and he's the get off your lawn guy, are you denying that he doesn't like people cutting through his lawn?
Do you want me to, can I explain?
I just asked for an answer to my question. Mr. Lally will get up after I'm done, and I'm sure you can explain whatever you want.
So no, he's not no.
Well, you would agree with me that there was a time when John O'Keefe was not home, that you and your wife Julie went to his house,
That is correct.
and you entered onto his property, correct?
On his front property, yes.
And you had drinks in your hand.
Correct.
And you thought it would be funny to have a photo taken of you and your wife with drinks in your hand on his property, correct?
Correct.
And you knew it would be funny because you knew it would annoy him, correct?
Objection.
Yeah, he was actually asking us to watch his house while he was away.
Right, but that doesn't answer my question, which was, he didn't ask you to go onto his property with drinks in your hand and take a photo, correct?
He asked us to watch his property.
Okay, but again, in answer to my question, the answer is no, he did not ask us to go on his property and take pictures of ourselves with drinks in our hand, correct?
Yeah, he didn't ask me to send him a photo.
You would agree with me that Nebbercracker wouldn't like a photo of somebody on his lawn with drinks in their hands, correct?
The cartoon character, Nebbercracker?
Yes.
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustain. Next question, please,
Yes.
Mr. Iannetti.
I have the photo.
Tell the jury if you recognize what they depict.
I do.
What do those photos depict?
It's me and my wife straddling John's fence. We're giving a thumbs up in one of them and a smile in another one.
Would you agree with me that that photo was taken in April of 2021?
I'm not sure when it was taken, but if that's what you have for a date, then it's fine.
Who took that picture?
That's a good question. I have no idea.
Where was your son Colin that night when you had that picture taken?
I have no idea.
With regard to that first photo, whose house is that in the background?
That's John's.
And that is you on the right and your wife Julie on the left?
Correct.
That is also John's house in the background there?
Correct.
And again, that's you on the right and Julie on the left, correct?
Correct.
Now, would you agree with me that those photos give some context to the text that you sent him on January 28th when you were trying to get him to come out and you threatened to, quote, fuck up his lawn if he didn't come out that night?
What do you mean give context to?
In other words, here you are texting him photos of you and your wife on his lawn, correct?
Yes.
And that's a common theme that explains the January 28th text where you were threatening to fuck up his lawn, correct?
Objection, Your Honor.
Okay. You previously confirmed that when you walked in your door on January 29th of 2022 after coming home from the waterfall, your son Colin was not home, correct?
It's correct.
At that time, you had no personal knowledge of where he had been that night, correct?
That's correct.
Since that time, you know that he was at your brother Brian's house that night, Brian Albert.
It's correct.
When you spoke to Trooper Proctor on February 10th of 2022, you never mentioned that Colin Albert was at your brother Brian's house that night, correct?
Objection, Your Honor.
I don't remember.
All right, thank you. Redirect.
Yes, Your Honor.
My name is about possession.
Thank you, Your Honor.
My name is about possession.
Now, Mr. Albert, questions about your brother selling the house. Now, prior to your brother selling the house, you had sold your house, right?
Correct.
Why was that?
Why was that? It just made sense for us. You know, it was just a financial decision.
Kids were getting older, is that correct?
Yeah.
And what, if any, relation did that have to your brother selling?
So once he found out that I was selling my...
Objection.
No, I'm going to allow it.
Once he found out I was selling my house, he decided that it might be a good idea for him to sell his house. His kids were getting older. So I gave him my real estate's number. The guy who sold my house.
And that selling in the house, was that something that you would discuss with your brother prior to January 28, 2022?
Yeah, soon after.
Let's move on.
With regard to Nebbercracker, what was sort of the origination of
It's a joke. It's so my son Dylan, who is my littlest one, he was cutting across John's lawn one day, coming home from the school, walking. It would just cut off like a couple of minutes. He ran across John's lawn one day. This is my littlest son, who he might have been like 9, 10. And John yelled something to him, "Hey kid, get off my lawn." So John was just making a joke. So Dylan got scared. He ran home and told my wife, Julie, and then Julie in turn called Jen maybe and said, "Hey, John just yelled at Dylan." And I think Jen reached out to John, and John felt terrible. John asked what kind of candy Dylan liked, and John brought Dylan a bag of candy and just said, "Hey, I was just kidding." It was just, so from that point on, we called him Mr. Nebbercracker, and it was a joke between John. John thought it was funny, and
Nothing further.
Nothing
Quickly,
further.
Jay. All right, you are all set, Mr. Albert.
thank you.
A blogger is facing charges that he harassed and intimidated witnesses who were interviewed about the death of a Boston police officer during a snowstorm. WBZ's Christina Hager's live in Stoughton tonight. Christina, prosecutors say that harassment included sending messages to witnesses.
And Lisa, in court here, he wore a sweatshirt that said "Free Karen Reed." In the end, the judge allowed him to leave the courthouse without having to post any bail. And when he did, there was applause. The man behind the online blog known as Turtle Boy, Aiden Kearney, outside the Stoughton courthouse, where he had faced a judge moments earlier, arraigned on 9 charges of intimidating witnesses in a different case, the Dedham murder trial of Karen Reed. This latest twist had him shouting.
And I will not be intimidated, I will not be silenced, and we will continue on our journey for justice for John O'Keefe and for Karen Reed.
His followers waving a flag to honking vehicles passing by. While inside, a prosecutor detailed the accusations laid out in hundreds of pages of court documents, reading excerpts from Kearney's blog directed to witnesses.
You guys should just stop going out in public. It's only going to get worse from here. I know where you all were today.
Kearney has amassed a large online following by backing up Karen Reed's legal defense claims that she was framed in the murder of her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe. She's accused of backing her vehicle into him in January of 2022 outside the Canton home of another police officer. Kearney has staged rallies at her hearings, calling it a cover-up. But prosecutors say he went further, publicizing witnesses' private information, showing up at their homes, calling a state police trooper's wife, and saying this.
And what's your scumbag husband up to now? Are you going to visit him in prison?
I will not be silenced, and I will be steadfast in keeping on with this mission to expose the real killers of John O'Keefe.
Kearney is also accused of having a civilian police dispatcher in Avon run some of those witnesses' license plates for him. That dispatcher has been placed on paid leave, and Kearney has been ordered to stay away from the witnesses involved. Live in Stoughton, Christina Hager, WBZ News.
Christina, thank you. Whistleblowers are the first line of defense to root out abuse of power and corruption in our government. It's understandable taking a hostile approach toward whistleblowers. Their disclosures can embarrass a political party or even lead to a national scandal. But whistleblowers continue to play a vital role. They help the public identify and understand what government corruption looks like. Their disclosures fuel investigations and allow us to address wrongdoing and hold those responsible to account. Doing so protects the country and ensures our government is more responsive and accountable to the people. Despite this invaluable public service, blowing the whistle comes at great personal risk. Whistleblowers risk losing their jobs, careers, livelihoods, and reputations. They can face retaliatory investigations, lawsuits, and even serious criminal charges. And they can endure deep mental, emotional, and psychological harm. All of that risk to speak the truth, to ensure that agencies fulfill their core missions, and that they serve the best interests of the people. Those who retaliate against whistleblowers don't just violate their legal rights, they inflict real harm on our government and betray the public's trust. Targeting whistleblowers instead of the corruption they expose wastes agency resources and further allows that corruption to continue unaddressed. It can instill a chilling effect across an agency, fostering a climate of fear and distrust, quieting dissent and free speech, and deterring potential whistleblowers from coming forward in the future. Whistleblowers are often some of the most dedicated and principled public servants we have because of their willingness to put themselves on the line to do what's right. Because when people of conscience, integrity, and good character refuse to speak up, out of fear, complacency, or self-preservation, and leave corruption to fester behind closed doors, that is probably the most dangerous risk of all. If we are serious about increasing government transparency and restoring the public's trust, we need public servants committed to the truth.
Carney, the controversial blogger known as Turtle Boy, has once again been indicted for intimidating witnesses in the Karen Reed case. These latest charges stem from an incident outside a pizza shop owned by a key witness in Reed's case. Carney is free on bail and has pleaded not guilty to the charges against him.